So next we have to,
Excuse me.
warn a meeting for the short-term rental. Petition that would repeal the amendments we made to the ordinance. And I was thinking we could do that as an Australian ballot type vote, but I think the timing is not right. I misread something. We have 60 days to warn a meeting, and I was thinking that was to provide a warning. It's actually to have the meeting. So that puts us at August 15th, 16th, 17th, or 18th in person.
When?
Shoot.
15, 16, 17, or 18th.
Of
August, yeah. Let's see, what are the dates? Calendar. Let's see if I did my math right. So August 15th is a Tuesday. 16th, 17th, and what's tax day, Elaine?
Hopefully September 1st.
Oh, September.
We don't know that for firm yet.
Okay.
So they're changing it?
So I don't have a preference. Do it the 15th, Tuesday the 15th?
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little.
All right, and I'll, said I would help craft the warning.
So, just enlighten me, so it's an Australian ballot,
It's an in-person,
right,
yeah, so no Australian ballot.
so it's a hand vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can still do Australia,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we still do.
Well, we
vote.
could
You can
here
still do
with
it,
paper
yeah.
ballots, but we don't get the whole town to vote on it.
Yeah, right.
That's what I was hoping for, is,
Yeah.
we make changes to the ordinance and
Yeah.
to have the whole town vote. I
Okay.
just wasn't on it quick enough with not having last week's.
Can I ask a question related to that?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a special meeting for the STR stuff, is there proposed language, is there?
We'll have that out in the warning,
Okay,
generally. In the petition, which we have a copy of, was to repeal the revisions to the ordinance made by the select board, and that is the only thing we think we can vote on, because that will be the warning. Will be to vote on those changes.
yeah, so I guess that's my question.
Okay.
So is the vote to go back to the original language, or to adopt the updates?
Right.
We adopted the update, so it's to repeal the updates, potentially.
Yeah, the updates have already been adopted, approved, a couple months ago.
But it's not in effect. The old ordinance that was voted on by vote, that's the ordinance that is in effect now.
You're right,
Correct.
because we didn't, right, that's
Yeah,
correct.
because I
Because
remember,
of that waiting period.
remember we were trying to figure out, I was trying to figure out the sequence of all the events. So I went and looked at our website. So here's what we had. The town of Plymouth had a special meeting on Tuesday, December 2021. It was a vote, it was an Australian ballot vote. It was Article 3, to see if the town will approve a short-term rental ordinance dated July 2021. That's when it was dated, and we voted on it on December 7th of 2021. We had 44 yes and 26 no on that, and that was almost 2 years ago. Right, this is 2023. So then the petition that was presented was to keep the ordinance pretty much as it remains now.
That's not my understanding of the petition. The petition has specific wording related to.
Would you like me to read the petition?
Yes. It
Okay.
didn't say that we will revert, excuse me, I'm sorry.
So, this petition repeals the changes that we.
Right.
Okay, I thought it put in specific wording.
So it is, yes, I'll
Yes.
read that to you. Request the disapproval of the select board proposed amendment of the short-term rental ordinance due no later than 44 days after May 15th. That was the time to appeal an ordinance. Knox box remain a mandatory requirement for the short-term rental ordinance. Insurance requirement, specific rental endorsement, AKA commercial or landlord insurance, specific short-term rental providing 365 days per year of coverage. Economy sharing is not valid coverage. Coverage by rental representative ex vacasa, Airbnb, VRBO are not acceptable. All other requirements mandated by the original ordinance remain unchanged. an unchanged requirement with exception to verbiage for clarification and understanding only. Conflicts of interest should not be considered for any part of the administrative process.
Okay, so that's not necessarily, we're taking all the changes and going back to the old one. It's more than that.
It nullifies, well,
It nullifies just those,
these are the things that were,
right.
Right.
That's right.
that's
Okay,
it.
so it's not everything, it's just those
That's it.
specific,
Right, the-
2, 3, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, the two main concerns, in my opinion, from all the meetings we've had, and we've been going round and round since December, is the Knox box and the insurance. So those are in the original, and that's what that petition, I believe, was supporting.
Yep.
That we don't, basically just leave it as is and make no changes. That's how I'm interpreting the
I
petition,
concur.
so.
So, and I will add a little something to this, only because I remember Jim Tepper asking about being able to speak at that meeting. I am rallying people to not let that happen. So just like when we vote, because it's an open meeting, I mean, they can, not that it's an open meeting, because it's a warned meeting, they can be like a poll watcher and not participate in that meeting, but they can certainly attend the meeting. But because one of the problems has been that people start talking about it and it just gets dragged on and on and on, and we go back and forth and back and forth. And this is for the voters, and this is for the town of Plymouth. It's not, it affects us as residents year round. And that's kind of where, I've been rallying people, and everybody's been, I haven't had anybody say no, so, that I've asked.
I think we were all wary of the discussion around it.
Yeah, I
Do
do.
we not have enough time to send out absentee ballots to all the voters in the town?
I don't believe so.
So you don't want to do it as apps, he doesn't want to, you don't
That
want
would
to
give
do it.
everybody a chance to have a
We
voice.
did want to, but at the time, I believe has passed.
You've passed that deadline.
We passed that deadline.
Okay, so that's, because that's how it was voted on last time, so that's why I was
Yeah.
kind of, thought we were gonna go that route, to be honest.
Would have preferred to do it.
Am I allowed to ask a question?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm not a resident here, but
You're the clerk.
is that a standard thing? I mean, I've been to other meetings and people who are not voters can still have a voice to speak.
It's up to them, they can, but it has to be voted on by the assembly. So the
Okay.
assembly, if somebody wants to speak, they can ask, and then the assembly has to say yes or no.
Okay,
on
who's
that, so.
the assembly?
The-
Forgive me.
the-
People would be there at the meeting.
The registered voters.
It's just like a town meeting, if someone is not a member of the town, they have to have permission to speak. So
When-
I'm in favor of having people speak, so,
I am too.
so that's, I'm not on.
Would Tom Harris be asked to moderate it?
We
Do
could
we need
do
that?
that, yeah, that would be all right. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. He's
Yeah.
willing to do it.
Well,
When the meeting is warned, can you put a request for non-voters to email in comments and questions? I mean, that might be one way to still solicit input, but not
Right.
necessarily have the discussion.
And that was suggested at the last meeting that we had.
Yeah, we take anybody's emails, I mean, really, and
Yeah,
we take them seriously.
yeah, if you're gonna warn it, it gives them a fair opportunity to have some input without being at the meeting and stuff like
Sure,
that, so.
sure, yeah, would encourage that, I think. This leads us to a bunch of documents to sign for the Vermont Bond Bank for the building renovation. Here we are. I don't think there's any motion to make any approvals on this. I think this is just simply a signing because the voters have approved all of
probably
this.
7 o'clock, I'm assuming.
Can you tell us where we're at with that, Jim?
Yeah, we got a commitment from them. And,
That's what I need to know.
and this is,
The commitment.
This
The
just-
bond company.
hold on.
this just gets us the money.
Want to write that.
That's the final.
Final.
Yeah. There's an amount. So it looks like there's 10 things to sign here, 11.
Stuff up.
The following documents are enclosed, and I will read this just for the record. This is an $800,000 general obligation bond issue, town building weatherization project. Enclosed are the documents. We understand that the select board will consider and hopefully act favorably on these documents at July 17th meeting. If there are questions or concerns ahead of the meeting, please reach out so we can resolve them. The following documents are closed. Resolution and certificate requires board adoption and signatures, so we do have to do that, as well as confirming signatures of the clerk and treasurer. This document has appended to it the following material: certificate of posting, publication and vote, that was done. The loan agreement with exhibits, all marked draft, none to be signed. Town's VMBB loan application, Vermont Municipal Bond Bank. Post issuance compliance policy. 2, the loan schedule and pricing. That's a placeholder to be completed after the municipal bond bank pricing. Loan agreement between VMBB and the town requires our signatures. General obligation bond requires signatures as indicated. 5 is certificate of registration. 6, assignment separate from bond. Form of requisition. 8, project completion certificate, that's for the future. Also included, but not to be signed, are the form of legal opinion, receipt, and treasury certificate. Okay. So I think we can probably sign these things with the warrants after, just save everybody the trouble of walking.
Jay,
Yes.
what was the term of that? Was it 25 or
Correct.
25, yeah?
So we have some town clerk and treasurer updates. And I'll ask either Angela or Lane to speak about this as they see fit. The first one is the land records online.
We're currently online, which is new for us. So if you go to our town website, on the main page, if you look on the left-hand column, you'll see online land records. We have about 8 years scanned right now. We have somebody, Beth, who's coming in a couple days a week, and she's scanning the current books to get us current. We're looking to get 40 years up there, because that's usually the requirement for a title search. So people, it's like 2016 forward is where we're at now roughly. So people can access documents online for that time frame. There is a charge. It's $2.50 a page. The town does get a portion of that, and I think the town's paid maybe one check 2 times a year for the cost for doing those. So we just want to get that out there. That'll alleviate, some calls in and emails. If people know, they can go to the website and look at, request the deed and obtain it themselves right there. Pay for it, and they can print it right at home.
So when you're saying 2016 on, you're saying that those were transactions that occurred after 2016?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, that's fabulous.
And the direct debit forms.
The only thing that I have is that our delinquent taxes are down to $45,412.
Wow.
We have
Thank you,
27
Angela.
total
Thank you for all
parcels.
your work on that.
Boy,
Well.
you're a go-getter.
27 total parcels, but the town owns 3 of those from the tax sale, so 24 accounts.
Good job.
That's impressive.
What did it start out in February? What was
I would have to
about
look at it.
140, I mean, roughly,
Before our first tax sale?
yeah.
Oh, it was half a million
Half
dollars.
million.
Yeah, if it was high.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
but
was huge.
Yeah.
the Hawk
Yeah,
sale took care of a lot of that.
yeah.
Yeah. The people are good. I've been, in the last iteration of the notices, I mentioned the fact that there will probably be a tax sale this fall. Although with all of this that's happened, I'm not quite sure that is going to be the case now, but if not this fall, the following spring probably. So it would behoove them to get this cleaned up before, my next iteration, which is tomorrow, is going to say it would really be good if you could clean this up before the new tax bills arrive.
Great, thank you.
So there's a direct debit form that Elaine and
Oh,
I.
yes, Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
We will be, and the tax bills will be sending out a direct debit form to all taxpayers, encouraging them to pay their taxes that way. But we're also sending out like a bullet pointed sheet, just reinforcing what the town tax rate is versus the education tax rate. So it's clear to people when they get angry at the increase that it's not town taxes that's driving the increase. It is the education tax.
One thing that occurred to me is we should probably ask Elliot to come in and speak to that.
Yeah.
That would be helpful,
Yeah.
maybe next select board meeting. Reach out to him about that. Would people like to hear about what's happening with the school and taxes? Okay. Angela, you had something about an agenda email?
Yeah, I started, we've only got a couple people on it now, but what I call agenda email, it's just a group of emails that when we finalize our select board agenda, I'll just attach it and do an email blast to people who, you know, want to be on that email list to get it instantly as soon as it's done. So if
Great
people,
idea.
if people wanna, you know, email me or call in and say they wanna be added to it, I'll just add them, so I'll send it out
I
a
want
few
to
days.
be added
Send me an email. But just trying to keep and get more people involved of what's going on, and I know sometimes to go to the website, you know, people forget, which we've been doing a lot of updates to put more stuff out there.
Good move.
But like I said, if anybody wants to be added, just let me know and we'll get you on it.
Great. Yes, Carol?
Can I just ask a question on the bond issue? Do you have a date when that's actually going to be issued? Have they given you that?
I don't quite, no, I don't think I mean, they have an approximate date, but I don't think they're, well,
Is it this month, or is it?
let me see. I'm not sure we can get you that information.
Yeah.
And as I read through this, I might come up with that.
Before mailing warrants, there was one other item I just wanted to share under other business, Jay. And I don't know if this needs residents' approval or board approval, but it's a line of credit.
Yeah,
We were thinking earlier we need $1.5 million line of credit, but it's probably $3 million is more realistic what we need right now. So we need to get a line of credit to pay for repairing the roads and then get reimbursed from FEMA. That's the way that works.
oh, Art reached out about that proactively to me.
Okay?
And I forwarded that on to Angela and.
I spoke to our bank rep today, and
Okay.
she's sending documents to Bill Muse, who is a municipal, I forgot the term, attorney for approving. We have to have their document read and approved by a lawyer who does this. And Bill Bube apparently is one of those
Okay,
lawyers.
good.
So I meant to tell you that, we knew we were gonna need money.
Okay, good. But anyway, I just want to get it out there that we're going to be getting, or looking to get a $3 million line of credit.
Okay.
And hopefully the government will be picking up the tab for all of that.
If we play by the rules, they should. Yeah, and just gotta do things FEMA way.
Right.
That's the key. And so far, we've been doing that, and I think we can continue.
I wonder if at the next meeting, if, well, you already have that, I know Al had a few things, and Dave, you probably did too, with how, I don't know if there's any updates we need to do on housing in the community. Those are private residences, so I don't know if there's public discussion on that about damage or anything that needs to be addressed with that. So, something that,
Not that I'm aware of right now. I mean,
Okay.
I know there's a bunch of houses that were damaged, but
Mhm.
okay.
I don't know that I don't know that we've progressed far enough. I know there were a couple that FEMA may buy out, but I think there's a whole process they have to go through for those kinds of decisions.
Yeah,
so.
the timbering's been waiting 3 years and nothing for the while.
Yeah.
They're hit again.
Yeah, there was a couple on Meadowhawk up on Hawk as well. I was up there yesterday.
I might be the only one
yesterday.
living.
I don't know if Joyce Cooper's was, but the one above that, there was some,
I
Pretty
think
big
they
damage
consider
up there.
the bus house is gonna be gone. I don't know about the paved
Are
road.
you able to put the updates of the road again on the website? Someone was doing it.
I don't know.
Like, just to say what roads are gonna be closed, because I'm gonna call the neighbors tonight when I get back, because we've all been just wondering what's going on.
We can
so.
do that, so I just want to be sure I understand what information you're looking for, what roads
What road, like,
are closed?
Tyson Reading Road closed,
Yeah,
okay, you know,
we
making.
can post
That
that.
way, you know, I said I was coming to the meeting tonight, and so I'll call a couple people, text a couple people tonight, because everybody's gonna ask, because we have to go, because Chapman's closed. So for us to get out, for me to get to Rutland, you have to either go, you know, you gotta go 20 Mile Stream or go into Reading, but I don't know if Downers is open yet. And that's been questionable on and off. So as of today, I don't think Downers is still open.
Yeah, I
Like a-
Yeah.
I emailed
Or
Al today about that.
Go up and around and over Killington,
He
and
said he's gonna let me know the one, so I could-
which is, so, I mean, I don't mind, we had to do it for Irene up until November, so.
I can send
Oh,
it.
But Chapman was great, because they cut off a lot of, you're still walking, I mean, 20 Mile Stream, you can't take your, you gotta look where you're going.
Okay.
And I'll post them.
Especially those big dump trucks are flying up there now.
It's gonna change.
You have a question?
Yeah, and
I just sent
how you were considering
Yeah.
roads that are closed, you didn't mention Hale Hollow or Bradley Hill.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Are they not closed? I mean, obviously Hale Hollow is not fully open.
it's not fully open.
No,
And Bradley Hill
it's open
is.
enough so residents can get out,
So for residents only, basically.
yeah.
So I guess that's basically, because I know from 20 Mile Stream Road, there's a sign up, just said road closed, but we know that they're for residents only. The same thing with Downers, there was a sign on Route 100 saying closed, and I knew that I could go up to 20 Mile Stream. If I didn't know that, you know, I'd be like, oh, now how do I get home? So. but
Yeah,
it's
Hale
just kind of-
Hollow's open up past Ruben's house up to, where we only went up as far as Ron Earl's place. Up as, up in the Plymouth and.
I only mention it because Bradley Hill, to get to my house, there is a rut in the middle of the road. I can pass it with my truck. It is pretty rough,
Yeah.
but
That was the guidance we got from FEMA, is to, right, do not fix roads, leave them a little bit rough till they get around, take pictures, why? But that is their
I
process.
just don't realize how efficient Vermonters are. Seriously, they,
Bradley
people,
Road
I
has
mean,
$360,000 worth of damage,
Yeah.
just on Bradley Road.
Yeah.
That's a big hole.
And that's on the, by the Five Corners, right, down in that area?
No,
just
No, up by,
up above
Oh,
5
where the
corners.
pond was, or?
above the pond,
oh, okay.
right? Yeah.
Pond is gone now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have a question. Will V-Trans ask the town for any input into money book repairs, or do they work on their own?
So they have not in the past, and despite, I think, us contacting not only V-Trans, but we've contacted the DEC, the Tactical Basin Planner. I think the answer that we got, and none of us have been satisfied with the solution that they've proposed, right? And that was they bought an easement on Pingree's land down in the flats, but the Connecticut River Conservancy did that, and it is a floodplain. And that is certainly not solving all of the problem, right? It's trapping some of the sediment. That's their goal from an environmental perspective. I think more advocacy needs to be done over a much better repair for that brook, right? Because if you've been up there, you know what it looks like, and it's just gonna continue on for.
Well, I'd like to, if you need somebody to interact, I would like to be that person.
Okay.
That's my field of engineering,
Oh, great,
so.
awesome. Can we make an appointment?
Yeah, you speak their language.
I told them what the answer was.
That sounds great. I'll second
So,
it.
I set that on the table.
Well, during
If you
Irene,
wanna
that,
do
Yeah,
that.
no, I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, it would.
that was one of the biggest washouts in the state, from what I understand.
Yeah.
If you look at it from the top of Lions, where Lions lives. I'm like, whoa.
I think siltation is the
It was
least
nice
of the
if your
problems.
daughter wasn't living there anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, no Lions. There.
yeah,
That would have created a whole other,
that's a mess, yeah.
Otherwise, we're gonna just do mail warrants and sign
Okay.
this bond thing.
Thanks for coming in,
Yeah,
Bo.
thank you.
So the August 15th, that'll be a 7 o'clock thing? Was when usually town meeting times are, I'm just
That
asking.
sounds good.
I'm just asking, because we didn't say time, we just
Yeah, that
said date.
works. I think
Okay.
that's good for everybody. Right,
That's a
Mick?
Tuesday.
Will that be the
7
next
PM.
meeting?
I don't know,
Will that be
will we
Yes.
Wednesday?
set on a date?
We have a select board meeting, probably the day before if I was,
Oh, I had a question mark.
it's gotta be in the, at least 30, but no more than 40.
Does it? It's in your pocket.
Let's see, no, August 7th is our regular select board meeting at 7 and 21. So 15 will be a Tuesday in the middle.
Okay.
14th, you said?
Tuesday the 15th.
Okay.
That's how many days from now?
When does it have to be
It's like
warned?
31.
What is the deadline for the
I
warning?
think, because it's a vote, I was gonna look at that when I get home, because I think we only need 20 days. I was just thinking of the voter registration list, because we did not,
Well, you have to get it into the paper like the week before, so we need to,
yet, well, the warning might have to be earlier because you're voting on something. It's really a
So we
vote.
should have the warning ready tomorrow, and we can post it in the public places, and then it can go in.
Yeah, I think it's a 20, I want to say it's 20 days. I can't remember, because I was trying to read, so, because now that we're doing a vote,
And I believe the actual warning needs to be posted at least 30 and not more than 40.
but there's, I think it depends on, I think because it's a little town thing, it's different than some of the bigger elections. Yeah, I think it's different timing. So I was reading something on that not too long ago,
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
Because our voter registration list, I don't, we have some deceased people that should come off. So, I'm not sure if it's too late to do that now, though. Because we haven't had a meeting yet to kind of purge the list, so I kind of spent some time myself looking over everything, so I have a big list. But we have to have a meeting to confirm everything, and you can only do it so many days
I
before
don't know.
a vote, so that's why I'm thinking of 20 days. I'll look at it I'll read more
This
on
is the
it.
only space we got though, I think,
As
right?
long as you get it warned, that's
Keeps
fine. I'm not gonna.
us out of trouble.
At the brewery.
You what?
Keeps us out of trouble if we get it warned.
Yeah, that's right. And the reason it hasn't been purged is we had so many votes that every time we went to vote, there were deadlines, we couldn't purge it. So here we are again. So, all right.
August, you're not gonna do
Let's
it.
see what that deadline is. We were thinking about the end of this month to do that.
Yeah, to do a meeting.
Or the first week in August, but if we have to do it before that, that's okay too.
Probably because Monday you can do, I can do, you can do.
So,
Yeah, 6 o'clock,
Okay.
so.
We already made a
Figure out the date
motion.
right now.
I'll bring water.
Get a bunch down in Ludlow.
Just got 45 bottles of it.
Did your well get compromised?
Going back.
I like those better.
Nothing came on my
Yeah,
house.
they had a lot of stuff down there.
You said that.
Do what?
Arranging testing.
Yeah, what do you need?
They gave out kits.
This goes this
Yeah,
way.
they gave out, okay, Ludlow gave, right, so you have to get it, the day you take it, you have to get it down to Springfield that same day.
I'm pretty sure I'm on either one.
It says Springfield.
What kind of, are you
I
doing?
think they do it either. I was going to Rutland.
Okay, I don't know, so anyway, I was like, okay, so.
Well, we're gonna get your signature.
Yeah,
For you, please.
Yeah, so I think they
Can we
told
get
you
your
directions,
signature on
told you what to do, told you where to take it. Okay. But then in Springfield, because it's Ludlow.
That was for you.
No, actually Rutland is really